How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm absolutely wonderful.
Good. Good.
How was your morning?
It's been very calm.
I'm very calm.
Actually, I was great until I come out of the bathroom to start getting dressed and you had the door wide open.
I did. I was letting the dogs roam.
And this morning it was 20-something degrees.
Yeah, they needed to take care of their business. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
I complained about that.
Kind of got a little draft.
Yes,
Drafty.
it was a little drafty.
Yeah.
A little drafty, so I kind of got irritated with you on that. And Oakley actually thought I was yelling at her. And yeah, it was just a big cluster.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Would you like to apologize for that?
I'm very sorry.
Okay, I was just wondering if you wanted to get that out of the way. Hey, so anyway, what I want to visit with you about today is just kind of want to talk about how the Cast Iron Girl started.
Okay.
And just give me the rundown.
Okay. So, it's kind of an ironic story, actually. It doesn't even sound sometimes, because it's just a little crazy. I had the best job in the whole world.
You did.
I did. I stayed home with my two precious boys from the time that my oldest, that is now 29, from the time he was born. And, that was a big sacrifice for you because that gave you all the brunt of the responsibilities for our family. But I loved it. I was so blessed to be able to do that. 2006, our youngest was his last year in elementary school. And I really had a stirring. I wrote in a prayer journal every single day. And I really had a stirring that when he went into junior high or middle school, whatever they call it now, is junior high back then, that his hours were going to shift because he had sports after school and all that good stuff. And so I really just I felt something stirring in my heart that it was time for me to do something with our lives kind of changing in a different direction.
Sure.
So I wrote down in my prayer journal, Lord, this is going to have to be pretty special for whatever you want me to do, because I love being a stay-at-home mom to these boys. And so I just started praying in my journal that Lord use me to make a difference in one person's life. And I prayed that for a year. Sometimes kind of beating my head up against a wall that he wasn't listening, he wasn't responding, but I truly was faithful in praying that.
Sure.
Lord, give me something to make a difference in one person's life.
So the opportunity came?
Did in 2007. I actually signed the lease on 18th and K. How ironic, signed the lease on a building exactly 1 year later on the date that I had started saying that prayer.
Sure.
Lord, use me to make a difference. And so I was scared to death, but I had an absolute peace because I truly felt this is what I was supposed to be doing. So out of my comfort zone. You kind of thought I was a little nutty.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little nutty. You were in the car business. You always provided for our family very well. So it was a really strange time. We opened up in 2007 in September.
Yep.
And
How many seats?
55 seats.
55 seats.
55 seats. And
So kind of give us you really got to paint the picture of this place.
okay, so it was a little bitty diner or a little bitty hole in the wall.
Right.
Our kitchen was right in the middle of a long alleyway full of booths.
Yep.
Booths.
Booths.
It was quaint. It was pretty ugly. I mean, we made it so cute.
Yeah.
That's where we created a cast iron grill environment,
The kitchen
atmosphere.
was probably no bigger than that couch.
Right. We were on top of each other. Absolutely. And so, and there was little bitty rooms all over the place.
Right, so it was
Because
an
it was
office
an
building.
old office building and 55 seats. We started out with 4 cast iron grill crew members. And dude, it was just incredible. It was scary.
Sure it was.
And we had decided that we wanted made from scratch home cooking. which is another hard thing to do. You know, the health department, I'll never forget when we contacted Stephen down at the health department back 15 years ago almost, and told him, and he's like, you know, that's the highest grade of level of food safety. You know, and we're like, okay, well, that's what we're going to do. And so we did made from scratch home cooking. Our goal, my favorite food, before we ever started the Cast Iron Grill, was chicken fried steak.
Sure.
Ate it
You
almost
ate it everywhere.
everywhere. And
I know she doesn't look like she eats a lot of chicken fries, but in her day, she did eat a lot of chicken fries.
I did eat a lot of chicken fries. It's my favorite food. And so we knew that that was going to be a big staple of the Cast Iron Grill because that was my favorite food.
Yes.
I loved it.
Yes.
And a good burger, a good salad. You know, we just wanted to have a good round menu. But anyways, that's how we started, 55 Seeds.
Yeah.
We weathered a great storm, 2008, 2009, when the recession hit.
Sure.
And it was like we were building, and then it's like the faucet turned off. And nothing.
Yes.
We were on a one-way street to downtown going nowhere, is
Yeah,
basically how I
one-way
describe
street,
a
yeah.
one-way street. And there was nothing really at the end of that street that anybody was going to.
Sure.
And so it really was, it was truly built by our Heavenly Father. He had his hand on our restaurant from the time we opened. But when that recession hit, I can never describe the feeling of that.
Yeah.
You know, we just didn't know. You had just closed your car lots and you had come over to the grill. And I'll never forget, I was in the car. I never left the restaurant once I got there. But we needed something from US Foods and I just needed to get out there. You know, what people didn't see was that I would cry all the way to work and cry all the way home because situation was pretty dire for financial, for family reasons, and for the restaurant. But when you got to work, you put on that happy face and you got going.
Sure.
And makes you tough. And so I get in the car.
Restaurant business in for sissies.
The restaurant business and for sissies, and I've had to learn that. Used to wear my feelings on my shoulders, and you can't do that in this business.
Right.
So anyways, I got in the car one day to go to US Foods, and as soon as I turned on my car and the radio started, the lady in the car, or the lady on the radio, said,
She could have been in the car with me.
yeah, she was in the car with me.
Yeah.
She said, you have to decide right now, is it going to be the Great Recession or the recession made you great? And I even came home and told the three of you guys, Taylor and Brandon and you, that, you know what, this recession is not going to be great. It's going to make the Cast Iron Grill great, and it's going to make our family great.
Yep.
And didn't know what that looked like, but I had to have some kind of hope holding on to. And, you know, that lasted a year for the every single equipment broke in that year.
Of course.
Cast Iron Grill.
Of course.
It never fails.
That'll put you through a season.
100%. We were in a season. And so, you know what? It was amazing. It lasted, for us, 1 year. And at that year mark, it's like the faucet turned back on. And there, all of the amazing people of Lubbock, Texas started coming back.
Yeah.
And we actually, and we started opening up rooms. Because in
Every
this
time
office,
somebody would move out,
we
of
would
the
open up
office
a room.
building, we would rent it and open it up.
Yes, yes.
So by the time you got, go ahead.
So after that, we added our biggest room that we had ever added after the recession. It was called the Faith Room. And that's how we got the Faith Room, because we opened it up on faith, saying if we open this up, people are going to come.
Right?
And, you know, we just never, from that moment on, we never looked back.
Yeah.
Has it been tough? Absolutely. Our building sold over there in 2012. And the first of 2012, we were told we were going to have to move out, and we had 1 year to find a place.
We found that place.
We did find that place. Just actually by chance, we had searched and searched and searched, and come July, everything we had looked into had just kind of fallen through. And so I put it out on Facebook that the Cast Iron Grill needed a location. And people started talking about 620 19th Street. And this is where we landed. We opened up in January of 2013. and what a journey it's been.
Yeah, so now how many seats do you have?
196.
196.
Yes.
Stays pretty full. Been blessed.
It's really, honestly, when you know the history of this place and the trials and turmoils and whatnot, and then you see it,
Yeah.
it's truly incredible. It's so much fun. It's lively. It's loud. You know, you and I's philosophy is if you're in a quiet restaurant, you got an issue.
Yeah, they're going broke.
They're going broke. And so our staff is over the top. They are phenomenal at what they do. It takes 28 of us to run this place. So we started out with 4. We opened this place in 2013 with 11.
Yeah.
And now there's 28 of us that make it run efficiently. Great food, great service, made from scratch every single day. And it's honestly, it's a dream sometimes. It's hard. It's a lot of hard work.
It is a lot of hard
But-
work, but very rewarding.
But very, very, the amazing people that we meet here that's changed our lives. We have lost so many regulars that you just grieve to your core. You celebrate. New babies, new weddings, new job promotions, retirement. I mean, I've got one guy here that has sat at my bar at the other place in here for now 15 years.
Yeah.
The only time he misses is when it's payday and he goes to the bank during his lunch hour, and when he had a heart attack, and he even called me when he had a heart attack
Yeah.
and said, I won't be in. So we do life with these people. He retires next year. I'm so excited for him. But I know once he retires, Keith won't be sitting in my bar anymore every single day.
Right.
In that cowboy hat. So yeah, you start doing life with these people and you fall in love with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It's that is our reward. We've always said we don't make a lot of money, but we sure do eat good, and we also get to fellowship good.
Yes.
That's
Community is huge here.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. It's an amazing place to be, I think. And all of our crew members think the same thing.
And you, through all that, you didn't even mention like one of our best sellers, which is pie. We do homemade pie.
We do homemade pies.
And it's
We have a bakery downstairs.
Yeah, we have a bakery downstairs.
Yeah. And our pies are, our slogan is it's all about the boots, pies, and chicken fries. And pies are a big deal of what we do here. And 15 years ago, if you would have told me that,
Yeah, you would. Well, you did tell me I was crazy when I
Suggested
mentioned
it.
that we probably need to start some
yeah,
homemade pies.
yeah, and I thought you were absolutely
Especially
crazy.
since you had never baked pie in your life.
Nope, I threw out more pies than I served.
Yeah.
I prayed over those pies. I cried over those pies. I was awful. But you know, it's kind of one of my favorite phrases is God doesn't call the equipped; He equips the called.
Yes.
Because I definitely was a fish out of water. I knew how to love people. We entertained a lot. We had a lot of friends. I had people over to the house. I knew how to create an atmosphere. Everything else, I didn't know anything about.
Well, you brought it up. Good word. The secret to the success of any restaurant, in our opinion, is the experience.
Yeah. How you make people feel.
How you make people feel.
Yeah.
You know, we get asked, what's the secret to the cast iron grill? There's no secret. You treat people how you want to be treated.
100%.
And you have to give them an experience. From when they walk in the door, they feel at home.
Yeah.
It's not about good food, good service, a good atmosphere. It's about all those things.
Yeah.
And about an experience. So,
And you
if
have to
you're
work to create that experience. You have to have your crew members buy in to what we're selling.
Sure.
And that is loving the people that walk in. And let me tell you something, customer service industry is hard.
Sure.
There's some days I want to look at a person and say, seriously? Are you kidding me? But on the overall perspective, they've got to buy into what we're selling.
Right.
And they have. If they don't work here very long.
Sure.
You know, because it is. We have very, very much set from the time you walk in that door to the time you leave, the kind of experience that we want you to have.
Absolutely. And you've set the groundwork for these employees to be able to do that, and they buy into it. Or you're right, they weed themselves out.
You know, people don't know that when we opened January 2nd of 2013, we were a mess. It was like we had never been in the restaurant business a day in our life, and we had just closed down a successful restaurant of 5.5 years to move over here. We had cold food, we had bad food, people were freezing, a line out the door, we only had 11 employees. I mean, it was a mess. And I remember standing at the coffee machine at 4 o'clock one morning, just tears rolling down my face and saying, Lord, what have you done? What have you done? We are awful. I am not equipped for this. We have disgruntled guests every single day where we were not used to that. And yeah,
There's growing pains in it.
Man, it was awful.
Yeah. So if your restaurant is struggling, we suggest, now it's different because we're hands-on. We're here.
We're involved.
We're involved. This is our passion. And so we don't have a manager that we don't leave it up to someone else to run our business.
There's 3 of us. Our son.
We have key employees that help.
We do.
But we're here, and you have to put in that. And a lot of people just want to own a restaurant, and
which may work for them.
It might work for them. That's correct. But anyway, so what I was going to say is if your restaurant's struggling, go back to the basics.
Right.
And create an experience that people want to talk about. People want to spread the word. They feel the love, and that's what you have to do. I mean, that's what the cast iron grill. I remember, me and you were made from 2 different cloths in a way, and I commend you for never accepting mediocrity. And at times when I would be like, man, just let that one go. But you understood that if you let that one go, you'd have to let the next one go. Right. And it would just continuously snowball. So you never accepted mediocrity. And I think
well, I appreciate
kudos
that.
to you, and
thank you
for never accepting mediocrity. But seriously, it's the whole experience. We don't have the best food in Lubbock. We don't have the best service in Lubbock. We don't have, and let me tell you, that's hard for me to say because we serve damn good food, and our service is damn good. Mm-hmm. But it may not be the best in Lubbock. But the total experience, I'd put us up against anybody.
Yeah, me too. Friendliness, friendliness goes a long ways, and being kind. Being kind. And so on days that we drop the ball on service, because we do, and when we drop the ball on great food, because we do, if we still give the kindness and being courteous and friendly to our guest, because that's up to you.
Absolutely.
That's up to you. You're not depending on the kitchen. You're not depending on all of your staff to get it right with customer service that day. But if you yourself strive for friendliness, kindness, man, it's unstoppable.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you kind of giving us the rundown on how the Cast Iron Grill started, because I think it's one of the greatest stories I have ever heard.
Well, you know, the story is on our menu
Yeah.
and on our website. And, you know, received a call yesterday from a lady in Austin looking for a catering, and she said, I read your story. And, you know, to me, I'm so honored when someone says that, because it's, you know, you put yourself out there and you never know what's going to happen. But, I mean, it's, you know, it is a pretty great story. That's how I know that this is where I'm supposed to be.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
so
I appreciate it.
absolutely. I hope that everybody enjoyed listening today.
Yeah. So if you haven't pushed that little subscribe button, go ahead and
Yes.
do that. We'd appreciate it.
Yes, subscribe,
Follow, whatever.
Yes, whatever you need to do on YouTube, that would be
Helps out.
fantastic.
And
So,
Facebook.
yes, y'all have a beautiful, blessed day. Be loving, be patient, be kind. Deuces.